So to mitigate the risk of being hit by a sniper, one of the ways you can do that is using train effect modifier, especially in the case of places where you have a lot of unit density in various train effect modifiers. You can use train effect modifier to protect units that are a little more meaningful to you, specifically leaders. Let's say we had leader and a squad here, and we had various other units here. Now, you would not, for reasons that are quite obvious, you would not want to have a leader just hanging out in the open for any reason, regardless of sniper activation number level or whatnot. It's just a bad idea. But to protect the leader or any other unit that you find valuable, um, put them in the highest TEM you can find. It works for infantry fire table attacks, any attack. It also works for snipers. If you have units like this and the sniper lands close to those, or even like this, if the enemy sniper counter lands anywhere like this, except for there, anywhere where there's a tie, it's going to go to units with lower the lower train effect modifier versus the high train effect modifier. You can use these units sort of as sponges to sponge off and protect your valuable units like your leader. Next up, I'm going to talk about distraction, which is very similar to this. So distraction is basically the same principle. You just surround or I like to call it cannon fodder to the slaughter, right? You just surround or buffer your highly valuable units, like your 9-2 Lieutenant Gorham here, with cannon fodder units that soak up any sniper attacks that get close. Added bonus, they're in lower TEM locations. So the only time you're going to get hit is if the sniper lands directly on top of Lieutenant Gorham or in a way that forces the sniper to zoom directly to him and bypass units. In this case, if the sniper landed back here, there's no other units. These are just the ones on the board. He's going to go directly here. So you might want to, that's a stone building. That'd be a tie. Obviously, the German player is going to pick that. You'd want to position units such that there's somehow a buffer. And this isn't always easy to do. You may not have the units to do it. You may not have the terrain set up. It's just something to keep in mind to mitigate sniper effect on your game, so that no matter where it lands, it potentially is going to go to, well, here it would only go to there. If it landed here, it would go to either of these two because they're lower TEM. That's a stone building. If it landed here, it's going to go here. Here, it's going to go here. Obviously, if it lands anywhere over here, it's going to scoot back over to there, right? So you can use units, you can use cannon fodder to soak up enemy sniper activity around your high valued units. Now the next thing is stacking, or I like to say stacking can be good. It isn't always, it's usually bad, but there are some situations where it can be good. And sniper mitigation is a good place for it, especially if you have a leader, leader with like a -2 or a -3, which are almost godlike on the battlefield. But there's nothing worse than losing a 10-3 leader to a sniper. That one really hurts. So basically, you just want to stack units with it, which is what you might want to do anyway if you have good train effect modifier and a high leadership. You would probably stack units there anyway, but it acts as another sniper sponge, so that if the sniper lands in that location, instead of having Gorham with just one squad there, where there's a 50-50 chance he gets hit if there's a 1 or a 2 rolled on the sniper resolution. If you have other units in there, there's basically a 25% chance if you've got that many units in there, essentially. So you're reducing the odds that your high valued 9-2 or whatnot that you have in that hex is going to get nailed with a sniper resolution of a 1 or 2 if it lands in a hex, if you can stack the odds in your favor. Again, very situational. You probably wouldn't stack a bunch of guys with Corporal Gold in here, that's pretty risky, but stacking a bunch of units with Lieutenant Gorham is probably a good idea for various reasons, one of them being acting as a sniper sponge. The other thing is, for mitigation, is Hex Lanes, which I demonstrated at the very beginning, near the beginning, when I initially placed the sniper counter in Hex Lanes to cover all the leaders. If the German sniper counter happens to be there and Lieutenant Gorham is moving around during the course of play, keep him out of any valuable target. Try to keep them out of the crosshairs. Stay out of the crosshairs. These are the crosshairs here. This is where the sniper is going to go when he gets activated. He's going to go right down one of these hex lanes. Try to avoid the hex lanes if at all possible, as you're moving around. So if Gorman comes bebopping down the hill out of these woods across the railroad tracks, don't stop there. Try to keep going and get out of the hex lanes, out of the crosshairs, preferably into some kind of TEM, either a wood building or a stone building, whatever the best TEM you can get into. Again, helps you with the infantry fire table resolution. Same thing with getting attacked with a sniper. Stay out of the crosshairs. This other one, technique number 5, which I call pot shots, or target practice is for suckers. We all play ASL and we're like, oh, should I take this shot? I need like a 3 to get a resolution or whatnot. And if you're looking at it and you need a 3 to get a hit, or a 3 on the infantry fire table to get like a pin check or morale check, but your sniper activation is a 4 or 5, don't take the shot. Don't take pot shots just for the sake of taking pot shots, because target practice is for suckers, and you're going to get Lieutenant Gorham killed by taking shots that have very low reward for very high risk. Don't take pot shots. And then point 6 is fire priority. Now the concept of this is you might want to use, if the enemy has a high sniper activation number, you may want to have Lieutenant Gorham, depending on where he is, what's going on. You might want to have him and his guys, his gang here. If they're really in the action somewhere and they need to make an impact on some German units and they need to take a shot, you might want to consider making these shots first, especially if you think it's going to have a high impact on the course of the play. Like you really need to break the German units in that building or woods across the road or whatever. You might want to consider making these shots first with your leaders, wherever they may be, especially if you're going to fire a bunch of other units later on, because if you save your high impact shots for last, what may end up happening, again, if you have a high sniper activation number, or high-ish, if you save them for last, what happens during the course of that prep fire or defensive fire or whatever it may be, even taking various morale checks, you may make those shots, and then during the course of making those shots, you activate the German sniper. Oh, and he just happens to land near Lieutenant Gorman and attack Gorman's hex, and you get a really unlucky day and they kill Gorman. And the shot that he was going to take that was going to have a high impact on the game now gets reduced to nothing. He's lost. Maybe he gets killed, no leadership modifier. These guys have to take lead or loss task checks, that shot that you were relying on is now gone. So take your important shots first, especially the higher the sniper activation number. Don't save really important shots till the end. Now, if the sniper activation number is 2, you can probably fire it any order you want. But if it's high, take the really high priority shots very first, because you may find yourself losing those units from dumb luck and losing the impact they may have had if they waited to shoot later. Okay, so that's it for snipers. I went through the mechanics. I went through some mitigation examples at a really high level. I think next, oh, I wish they would add this to starter kit. It's 1 page of rules. It's really simple to implement, and it adds a lot to the game. So next up, I think I'm gonna do heat of battle, which is another thing. I think they did add it in a form of heat of battle in expansion starter kit expansion pack 2, something like that. When they added the Chinese, there's a little flavor of heat of battle in there. But 3 things I wish starter kit had: infantry bypass movement, which is pretty easy; snipers, which is super easy; and heat of battle. All of those add a whole lot of flavor to the game, and bypass adds a whole lot of interesting ways that you can move your infantry units, as opposed to just being forced to go through terrain as you move. But anyway, I think I'm going to do heat of battle next. That'll be exercise 12. So I didn't do my roll low last time. I'm going to do it here. See what I get. 6. All right. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I'd appreciate it, and hit the like button at a minimum, because that's how YouTube notices ASL videos. The more likes ASL videos get, the more ASL shows up on YouTube. So do that. Thanks. Have a good day.